and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bars. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey, it's Alex Gold. On behalf of everyone here at 96.5 The Fan, we want to thank you for listening to the inaugural Chiefs season on this brand new FM sports station and your home for Chiefs football. Now that we can't listen to Mitch, Danon, and Kling until August, that doesn't mean our Chiefs coverage stops. We'll have exclusive access and content through the Combine, free agency, and the NFL Draft. Before you know it, we'll be back in St. Joe to start training camp. Thanks again for listening all season long to 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but every time it turns to 6 o'clock, this channel no longer works.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
It's
I didn't see
weird.
it went off at 6 o'clock.
Right at 6,
huh?
it went black, and then it'll go back, and it'll start to, cut out. So you
all right.
get changed.
Yeah, see you later. Just don't put on the local channels today because I don't want to see that it's 0 degrees below zero out there this morning.
Literally cold temperatures.
Whoo,
Here's
baby.
So real quickly.
Wow.
God, I am 17 minutes away from going to Quick Trip and buying a cigarette because I've had it. I've had it with this season. And
Done with it, huh?
The reason is, and this is why. Look, dude, we all know how ice is formed. A solid has to melt into a liquid, and then that liquid has to freeze.
Sure.
There's no ice on the road out there today. The highways are clearer than they've been in July. 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can't be that guy today either. You can't be that guy. If you're afraid to drive, stay the F home.
There's no ice. Now, I understand there are lanes.
There are some lanes that are still covered. Stay away from those lanes, right?
And I'm not saying you got to go 80. You can't be out here. I'm not kidding you.
No, I had the same thing.
35 miles per hour on 470 this morning. And the lane looked like our table.
Yeah, no, I had the same thing on 35 this morning, too. There were people trying to get on, and once they got on and merged, and it's clear. I mean, the lanes, the great job by KDOT to get the highways.
Yeah.
The side streets, they still have some work to do, and that's fine. They'll get those things taken care of as the day moves along. But, the highways are fine right this morning, right? It's just stay in the lanes that have been completely plowed, and you're going to be okay, and you'll be able to drive fine. But you can't be going slow out there today. If you're afraid to drive in this weather, stay the F home. It's pretty simple because you driving slow is much worse, in my opinion, than the guy in the red truck with truck nuts that's flying by you at 95 miles per hour.
3 different occasions today. One was on 69, giggity.
Yep.
And, I'm not kidding. 2 full lanes, completely clear. And it's not like the snow is the packed snow. I'm not saying that you have to drive in the left lane where they just didn't plow it completely.
Right.
But, middle lane, completely cleared, full asphalt or whatever the hell you call it. 25 miles per hour and a 60.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the way.
You can't do that because now I can't get over. Now I'm going to slam on my brakes because somebody else is going to have to slam on there, and it's going to cause a trickle effect.
Yeah.
And it's there's no ice.
Yeah,
because nothing melted.
No, nothing melted until Sunday, hopefully.
And we're almost there.
And then it will be too warm to freeze.
And I think that's where we're at. We're almost there. You're at the end of your fasting. You go 72-hour fast. When you get to hour 66, you're like, I'm irritated. I'm there because you know it's coming to a close. And I know that next week is like 58, 57, 57, 58. Like, we're getting there.
We're hoping this is the end of this thing.
Look
Yeah.
at this.
The mess on the highway today is, I think it's probably because people are going too slow, either that or they're, just not paying attention or whatever the case may be. Drive a little bit slower today if you feel you have to, but man, you can't be on the highway doing 35 miles an hour. That's unacceptable, and it's very dangerous for everybody involved, including you, who's going 35 miles per hour, on the highway. You spoke from the Missouri side. I came up the highways on the Kansas side. They were good. 69's a little wanky, but it'll be fine in an hour or so once it all clears itself out. Right. 35 was great this morning. A lot of the side streets are still snow-packed as well.
And I understand that. Like, if you're like downtown or you're like
that's
around
completely different.
That's not what I'm saying, but like I will tell you my commute. It is 350 to 470 to 435 to 69 to Shawnee Mission Parkway. Pure highway lanes the entire way. 3 different times. 20 miles per hour in front of me.
Like, and 2 states, too. So you can't just blame one side of the state line for the way the people are driving.
Shout out to all the plow drivers because the roads are great.
Yeah, the highways are fantastic.
The other thing I have a question of is, like, how come when you pass certain, like, trucks with plows on them, they don't have the
because
plows
they're not
down?
getting paid.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and it's not their jurisdiction. Because I've
there
asked
is a jurisdiction.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like Mission does Mission, Overland Park does Overland Park, and if you're just a normal guy like
heading home,
you
lift it and go.
Yeah, because you're not getting paid. It's not your job to plow. God forbid you do something to the road. Somebody said it's like why you can't give food from a restaurant to the homeless anymore because the homeless are suing people
Fair
now.
enough.
So you can't give food to the homeless out of a restaurant because they're going to sue you because they'll take a cut of the winnings and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
see, like here's this news package. Slow drive, head out the door.
Yeah,
that's
and they're in
residential
somebody's neighborhood. But that's what I told you. These news stations are going to go find the roads that are covered with snow to tell you that they're covered with snow, to scare you into watching, to sit there all day instead of going out on the highway and the interstate, which the roads are great, and show you, hey, the roads are pretty good on the interstate today. They're on like some side street in the middle of nowhere.
Bob's house.
Like showing you the street. Oh, the streets are very snow-packed today. Yeah, you're in Bill's neighborhood, man. Of course it's snow-packed.
And they're not going to school, so the buses don't care.
Right. And they're literally on a road right now where nobody else is. And see, this is why the local news or any news for me is just, it's fear-mongering because they're on somebody's side street right now saying, well, it hasn't been plowed yet. You're right. But the highways, they were good this morning. They were great driving in. Now, the temperature's a different thing, and that's why, again, we have another day, with school.
Been canceled tomorrow already?
I think it's going to be. I saw Nick Bender this morning. He said it's going to be negative 13 on the thermometer.
Yes.
Like, that's not the feels like or the wind
negative
chill.
24 tomorrow wind chill.
Yeah, but negative 13, he said, on the thermometer tomorrow, okay? So that's, yes. I mean, I don't think we're going to have school all week. And I know parents out there, we're all going stir crazy. Both our kids last night are like, can we go to, yes, go. We don't care where you go. Just get the hell out.
Yeah.
You go. Go. Write us a note from wherever you end up. Like, just let us know you're alive. You can track my location. Yes, we can. Fine. Go. Just go. Because I think every parent right now is kind of having that stir crazy because really since the holiday break, there's no routine that these kids have been able to be in with the snow basically every week or the cold every week. Like, they want a routine. They need something to do. They want to get out. They want to go to school. We want you to go to school. We want you out of the house. We want you doing something. A lot of parents doing a lot of drinking and a lot of weed. I'll tell you that right now across the metro area over the last 6 weeks because these kids they've got to find a way to get back to school. It's not fair to them at this point either.
A bunch of parents starting a garage band.
Oh, there already are. Hey, you just go down every street.
Yeah. Let's go to 33 Sycamore. I heard the Groove Tenders are playing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. but that's what it is right now. Like every parent is going stir crazy.
On the hi-hat.
Like, I mean, like it's just insane. It just is. It's nuts, right? I feel bad for these kids because they don't want to do it. They want to go to school. They want to be with their friends. They want that, that socialization. That's why like the whole people like the work from home crowd. Like I
thought you were talking about Kansas's basketball team.
Oh, we can get into them too, which we will. I didn't think we had enough time in this segment to delve into that.
You said that the kids will get back to school. Parents are pissed.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the kids at school yesterday, I got a friend of mine that I've watched grow up over the years. His dad's friend of mine. His mom's friends with mine. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to out the poor kid on the air. But I'm sure if his dad's listening, he knows exactly who it is.
It's Vip.
It's not Vip. Well, Vip acts like a child, as we know, right? what was I going to say? So I text
You didn't want to call the kid's name out.
Yeah, I'm not going to name him names, but he goes to KU. And I knew they had school, canceled yesterday. And so I sent him a text like, are you drunk yet? Right? He's a freshman at KU. Well, if I could just motivate my lazy ass to get off the couch, I probably will. And I woke up this morning to a video he sent me from one of the bars in Lawrence last night. Packed!
Yes.
Packed!
Oh, I mean, there's no school.
That's awesome.
Where else are you going to go?
Jealous.
Here's an update from Lawrence at like midnight. Packed as far as the eye can see. Nobody gives a rip about the basketball team. It's a snow day. They're all hammered at the Bull or the Wheel or the Hawk or wherever the hell everybody's hanging out these days. I'm like, man, first of all, we never had college canceled. We never had a snow day.
We had it
Not
twice.
one time did we have a snow day in my time at KU. But I can only imagine what it must be like to have a snow day when you're in college. It has to be the greatest thing ever, right?
We had it twice. We got 22 inches of snow in Orangeburg.
That sucks.
And I called the troops on, we got it on a Wednesday, and I called the troops. I'm like, hey, guys, let's go to the bar. They're like, it's 4:30. I was like, we're not having school tomorrow. They're like, you don't know that? I go, check your radar. Check the accumulation predictions. And it was like anywhere from literally it was like 18 to 21 inches.
Yeah.
And it happened.
And
I mean, as we were walking to the bar, the snowflakes were like, I don't know, the size of potato chips.
Yeah.
And as we walked home, it was to our knees.
Oh, my God.
And we were there from, 5:45 to like 11.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow very fast,
And I mean,
right?
we walked home, and it was literally like I felt like I was in a scene of Fargo.
Yeah.
Like it was to my knees, and you woke up the next morning, it was all the way up to our door.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
That's
that's the only
insane.
time, because I found out when I went to college, I was like, how do they, they said if they can plow the parking lot, you'll have school.
Yeah.
Plus, like the thing in college is like, you're not required to go. Like
No,
you can
not
just
at all. You
go
can
or
just
not
say
go.
or not go. I always felt guilty. My parents were paying for college for me, so I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to take advantage of this. I was more about not letting them down. But I can only imagine, like, the best snow day experience has to be college. It just has to be college, right?
Well, it's like,
and I don't even know what number 2 would be, quite honestly, on that list.
In high school, I had some really good snow days in high school, close to friends,
Yeah.
17 or
Especially
18,
your
pretty
senior
independent.
year.
Yeah.
Once you can drive, snow days are awesome.
Snow days are dope.
So I had a friend whose dad was an air traffic controller.
Oh,
so
that's
they
a cool job.
They kind of knew ahead of time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he'd be like, "You're not having school tomorrow."
That's
and my
sick.
buddy would be like, "How do you know, Dad?" And he's like, "Because the preparation we're doing for the runways and what we're hearing from these planes and what's coming in, like I can tell you right now." And like they knew ahead of time.
That's
Like,
awesome. That would
so,
be
like,
the coolest job,
So
man.
like my buddy would be like, "Hey, do you want to come over and like get high and hang out?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like,
Let's do
but
it."
we have school tomorrow." He goes, "No, we don't." So I would tell my parents, like, "Mom, Nick said his dad told him that we're not gonna have school tomorrow." Well, Doug doesn't know everything.
Right.
I was like, well, he's got eyes in the sky, so he knows more than we do. So I'd go over there and they'd be like, well, if you do have school, you better get your ass up and go. And I'm like, okay. And I'd go over there, and sure enough, 9 p.m., Blue Springs R4 school district out.
Yeah,
or
see,
whatever.
again, we hardly had snow days in high school, and like it was
Even in-
very.
well, you're
I
up northeast.
but we would get snow. We'd have blizzards and things like that. But I mean, I
Dairy
don't
Queen?
remember my dad ever missing a day of work because of snow, and I will take that to my grave. That man never missed a day of work because of snow.
Did you know Bob used to walk uphill both
I
ways?
did.
No soles
No,
in shoes.
I walked across the street to school. It was no big deal. Like, my dad
Yeah.
never missed a day of work. Now, he worked in the home heating oil industry, so snow meant they were very busy with people heating their homes and whatnot.
yeah.
But like now, I mean, nowadays people, like, if there's one flake, meetings are canceled. Everybody just bails on everything. Nobody cares anymore.
Nashville
right?
got like an inch. Everything's closed in Nashville right
I mean,
now. Everything's
look,
closed.
yesterday, everything's closed around here.
Well,
and
today
everything will
everything's closed is because of the weather.
Yeah, right.
Because of the temperature.
Right.
Yeah.
But like we never had school closed because of temperature before. Like that was never, but I don't ever remember being this cold ever. I mean, like, this is insane. For all of those folks that are sitting out at a soccer game tonight, you got to screw loose.
What are you
You're
doing?
a nutcase if you're going to that soccer game tonight.
Please call in if you're going to the sporting game.
We got to hear from you, like, why.
586-7965. Please let us know if you're going to the game and why.
I got to know. I really
I've
do.
got more interest in that than listening to my new craze of Jack Caglione. Because it's coming. And you know what's not? Kansas basketball. Boy, what a night it was for that. We will dive into that. But if you are going to the Sporting KC game tonight to not see Leo Messi, to freeze your tail off, 913-586-7965. The phone line is yours. Bob Fesco, Mac Morey, Dusty Likens. You are listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fesco and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking for something fun to do with the kids over the next couple of days, something inside, something warm. Well, foaling is the answer to your questions. You got to foal around and find out to see how much fun it truly is, and you can take anybody foaling, right? We were just talking about looking for something fun for the kids to do while they have this cabin fever. Foaling is perfect for everybody, whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, date night, family function. It doesn't matter. Foaling is perfect for everyone. And now they're open. You want to do something indoors with the kiddos, get them to Foaling today. Get them to Foaling tomorrow and reserve that lane at FoalingKC.com. Foaling is football plus bowling plus bar, and that equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. You set up the pins just like you're going to bowl. You throw that football at them. You knock those pins down. First one to do it wins. You re-rack them and you play again. And I keep saying world-class bar. Great cocktails, unbelievable beer selection. And parents, I know you're cooped up with those kids. You want something fun for them to do and something fun for you as well. Foaling, foaling, foaling. So reserve that lane now at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com and get your foal on.
Advent Health welcomes the KC Golf Show, February 21st through 23rd at the Overland Park Convention Center. Get a dozen front door perks while they last. Enter our indoor golf championship. Enjoy the PXG Zone, Saturday women's event, and get fitted with Golf MD at the Golf Show, February 21st through 23rd at the OP Convention Center. Thanks to The Puttery, Great Life Golf, Olathe Ford, Extreme Green, Tito's Vodka, Birdie's Indoor Golf, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer, Imperial Golf, and Barry's Golf and Groove. VIP tickets at KansasCityGolfShow.com.
Well, Missouri's fans, listen up because I've got great news for you. Because if you're in Missouri right now, you can use the Underdog app. Underdog is available right now to play in your state. And this basketball season, when your favorite stars score buckets, we're alley-ooping you an opportunity to win money from just watching sports with Underdog. And Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play now in your state. I love the Underdog app. Was on it during the hockey game over the weekend. Had so much fun playing on the Underdog app. Had a ton of fun during the football season as well because Underdog has all of your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats when it comes to points, assists, rebounds, and so much more. And millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, including yours truly. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. So download the Underdog app now and sign up using the promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code BOB. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Hey KC, when I discovered my new passion, I dove into social media, got on some shows, and soon almost Andy Reid was bored. But this winter, there's something new you might discover that's not as great. Issues with your garage door. Don't get stuck in the cold. Get your annual maintenance check for just $100 or a free replacement quote from my friends at Renner Garage Door. They carry top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, trusted locally since 1956.
RENNER, RENNER. Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax-confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Missouri side, 435 northbound gets heavy at Winter and stays very slow, not quite to Front Street, with an accident blocking the right lane. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. February Valentine's special, buy one toilet, get the second one half off. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Wanky. The rough word. Welcome back into Fesco and Dusty with Mac Maury as well on 96.5 The Fan. It is a Wednesday. Jay Binkley will join us in 25 minutes.
Oh, that's right. It is Wednesday. I was yesterday. I was like, oh, it's Monday. No, it's Tuesday, baby.
Yeah.
See, I told you these 4-day work weeks are really where we want to be. It's
that's
right
where
in the
it's at.
wheelhouse, baby.
Yeah, give me 4 10s.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know who's arguing that, right?
I don't know. And then you'll have somebody be like, oh, give me 3 12s.
Okay.
Okay.
All
yeah,
right. Fine.
All right.
If you could do that, that's outstanding. Yeah.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Didn't we talk about this before, though, about 410s, and somebody did complain on the text line, I think. Oh, I don't know. That's blah, blah, blah.
I mean, do you?
Yeah.
Right?
But if that's what people are saying, we're going to a 10-day work week, then we're going for it.
Oh, God.
Hannah's new job is 5/8, but it was for 410s for 2 years. And, yeah, she just switched back. She
McDonald's and had $100,000 in cash in it. We're no longer doing that. This is all, yeah, and maybe if you would like to get the Nuggies too, or maybe you got whatever else. Exactly. Like this is watching the Chiefs get beat in the face in the Super Bowl and now not knowing how to recover because they've never been there. Kansas is the same way. They, as a collective program, especially the last 25 years, they're not used to providing stuff. They're just exactly like watching the Chiefs. I mean, that's not the goal. And whatnot kind of rise to the top. I mean, we're talking the football side of things. You have Boise State and SMU in a 12-team playoff in college football. It tells you the landscape of college sports is drastically changing, and that's a good thing. How you adjust is a different thing. And for years, we've talked about Bill Self having his best teams when he had freshman to senior, those 4-year classes. 08 was a 4-year class, 12 was a 4-year class.
He's a developer of systems.
He is, and you have to have guys that buy in. That's where I had a buddy of mine say, I bet on, was it BYU to get to 10 first, get to 15 first, get to 20 first. I didn't bet enough money on that. He said, I had another guy go, this is the worst I've ever seen. And it is the worst most of us have ever seen with Kansas basketball. Nobody remembers back before Larry Brown, was the head coach and this thing got turned around. So I think fans are having a tough time dealing with, where get to 10 first, get to 15 first, get to 20 first. I didn't bet enough money on that. He said, I had another guy go, this is the worst I've ever seen. And it is the worst most of us have ever seen with Kansas basketball. Nobody remembers back before Larry Brown, was the head coach and this thing got turned around. So I think fans are having a tough time dealing with, where get to 10 first, get to 15 first, get to 20 first. I didn't bet enough money on that. He said, I had another guy go, this is the worst I've ever seen. And it is the worst most of us have ever seen with Kansas basketball.
And their next 5 games.
Yeah.
They still play Houston, Arizona, Texas Tech. Now they have a couple duds in there as well. They play still, Colorado. But even if they...
What if you ever had this conversation where you're like, Kansas has to play these teams, and it's not the other way around of these teams having to play Kansas,
Right. So according to Maddie Bayless on Twitter, who replied to me, February 8th, 2021 was the last time. Mizzou was ranked 10th, and it was the first time KU was out of the top 25 poll since 2009.
So 2021, Kansas wasn't ranked? I was going to guess it was a lot further back than that.
When Mizzou was, and Mizzou was ranked 10th, apparently. This is what's crazy about college. Let's just take the local schools. Everybody was on the Jerome Tang wave 2 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody's off, right? Because it's a dip.
Fast, yeah.
Last year,
That's Dickinson, Juan Harris, and KJ Adams. Those are the three guys that everybody, if you were going to have awards, be like, those are that's who the team is built from. They got some guys from Arkansas, guys from Alabama, they got these transfers. Well, when Dickinson's been there for 2 years, and Juan Harris has been there for 5 or 6, how many years he's been there, and KJ as well has been there for a little bit. Like, those guys have a rapport. Everybody, these guys coming from the outside, they don't know about that. So, like Mizzou, it either looks great, like it does this year, or it's terrible, like it was last year. And you just have different guys doing different things, that have different egos.
They're winning games, losing games, winning games, and a losing game. And in 2 years from now, UConn will probably be the number one team. And everybody like, why is UConn back being great? Because all these guys are seniors. There are some guys that can get away with. Calvin Sampson's a great recruiter for one and dones. Mm-hmm. He's turned Houston around because what he was doing in Oklahoma, he can now legally do at Houston. And they're great. And they're in the Big 12 and they're winning. So you look at the last 2 years. This is from Rock Chalk Blog. KU is 18-16 in Big 12 games. That's not the KU I grew up
No,
with.
that's not the KU anybody.
6-14 in road games.
That's bad.
4-10 in road games decided by single-digit games. They're not winning close games.
And that used to be their bread and butter.
And they're losing 2-4 in road games decided by double-digit.
And they're also losing at home, and the student fan base isn't as.
They're also losing to BYU.
They're also losing to BYU. Didn't they pay $7 million for a basketball player?
They're also losing to West Virginia at home.
I know. Yeah.
It's nuts, man.
But like there's so much to really unearth with this. Like I just know from being around Bill Self for the last 25 years the way that he operates. And back in the day, we used to go and have lunch, and he used to, a lot of off the record conversations and
Those
just
are the
off the
best.
record conversations just at Salty Iguana back in the day, like pretty good relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the conversations that you have.
Did you
over
get that
the
Iggy
years-
dip?
Oh, yeah. Oh man! Back in the day, we used to.
Hell yeah.
It was a staple, man. Like
I just went there the other night, actually.
Fantastic place. Like Dan Chandler is one of my
Mhm.
closest friends of all time, who owns Salty Iguana and whatnot. And so, So look, my relationship with Bill goes way far back, and when I hear him talk today, I remember things from like those teams in the early 2000s, and then after Rush was there, Brandon Rush and whatnot, and those teams in 10, 11, 12, and I listen to Bill Self, and a lot of the stuff that he's talking about, I don't know that necessarily applies. He talked about like pouring into each other or something like that. Like that's 08. That's the Henry Tees meeting where they all went and had wings and aired it out, and they went on and won a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
But they were able to do that because those guys were together for 4 years. They had that kind of relationship. They were boys, right? They all came in as freshmen. They all went through stuff as sophomores. They all went through stuff as juniors. And then you hit that senior year and things aren't moving in the right direction, and you got push and pull and struggles going on. You go sit down at Henry Tees and you have a platter of wings and you get this whole thing worked out. I don't know that works that way right now because you have so many guys that just don't have a buy-in. Like, and I hate to sound like Harry High School and whatnot, but like back in the day of college sports, and this is like a thing my generation and older, why a lot of people are turned off. And again, I'm not turned off by college sports, but I've had my conversations with people about this. Is that they don't know who plays for these teams anymore. Nobody plays for the name on the front of the jersey. It's all about the name on the back of the jersey, which is fine. That's the new era of which we're in. But having your team then kind of pour into each other and try to work this out amongst themselves, I don't know that can happen when you don't have a team that's been together over the years that can kind of, needle each other, if you will, and move that thing in the right direction. So I hope Bill can figure it out of there. Otherwise, he'll just be another coach that this new era of college sports has kind of chased away and moved on from,
I do like this text from the 816. Hot take.
we're witnessing the descent of Bill Self. You think he's too old for this new model of college basketball?
No.
I don't think he's too old.
Everybody's doing it now.
But I think, exactly. I think now, whereas before, only a certain amount of people were able to swim in the deep end,
right.
Now the rope has been lifted, and it's like, I don't care if you're a toddler or a grown-ass adult, you're all allowed to come over here and play.
Right.
So,
I mean, 5 years ago, BYU wasn't spending $7 million on a player.
I'll have to look that up because I don't get that reference. But maybe I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know who it is or why it's $7 million.
That's what it was. They gave this kid $7 million to go to BYU. That wasn't happening a few years ago. Like, you didn't have to worry about the bottom feeders. Like, those were built-in wins. They're not built-in wins anymore.
And that's what my buddy told me last night. He's a big Mizzou fan, and he was like, he goes, is Bill Self in Kansas bad, or is now everybody else able to pay players? And he goes, you can't deny that Kansas was probably giving. I mean, I'm not denying anything in Division I basketball. Like, there's a reason why Nick Saban's no longer coaching Alabama.
His name is A.J. Bansta. He commits to BYU $7 million NIL deal.
And he's playing currently?
He's recruiting a class of 20.
So he's not even on the team yet?
Not on the team yet.
Yeah, so
spending this kind of money.
Which makes it even worse that he's not even on the team. Yeah, for $7 million, I'd go to Rhode Island University.
But that's where the sport has gone right now. And I think people who aren't willing to accept that are going to continue to live where Kansas, Duke, and North Carolina are always going to be the best.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
No. Look at and we could do this all day. This is why March Madness' tournament is so much better now. It's so much more entertaining because the days of being able to be like, oh, I'm going to take Carolina, Duke, Syracuse,
right?
Kansas. Yeah. Now you're taking George Mason because they got some kid that's like a stud, but he went there because he has an NIL, or they had a big remember when Baylor won in the COVID year?
Yeah.
Entire team was transfers.
Right.
Entire team. It wasn't Scott Drew recruiting. He just had a couple dudes that were like, hey, my buddy's over here that went to Arkansas. They don't like it. They think that guy's an ass. You want him to come here? Sure. Tell him to come over here. Let's go. Bring him over here. And then all of a sudden, you've created culture. You've given guys a chance. And all of a sudden, how you doing? National championship.
Well, and I just think, you have to adjust to the changing landscape. In any sport, in life, in anything. Life moves on. You've got to adjust.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Bill Self missed the jump to go to the NBA?
No.
You think he could still go today if he wanted to?
I don't think he wants to, but I think he could be, absolutely.
Because there was two teams that were really... I don't think he goes. I don't think he's
going to.
No, I don't think he's wanted anymore. I think he missed that ship. Because he was wanted by San Antonio to replace Pop, and then Pop's like, I'll just stay here till I die.
Yeah, but San Antonio was always an option because his best friend's the GM.
And then Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's...
And they went with Billy Donovan.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago.
That was when his name was popular, though.
But his name is always going to be popular. He's still one of the great basketball coaches of all time. I mean, and this does not define Bill Self's career at all, at the University of Kansas or anything like that. And, they've got some work to do. It's his worst team ever. And at 17-9, if that's your worst team ever, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. And that's, I'll say it to KU fans, just like the Chiefs fans. I mean, if you took this run with Bill Self for granted for all these years and didn't enjoy what was going on and bitched about the refs all the time, well, then you've missed the boat, because here we are. You're back to reality. Mm-hmm. This is what sports is all about. Chiefs fans, we've been spoiled over the last 5 years. KU fans have been spoiled over the last 25 years. Quite honestly, I'll say this. This is the worst year of sports for Kansas University that I can remember. The football team had expectations and fell flat on their face, and the basketball team is a middling team that's not going to be in the top 25. A lot of people over there at the University of Kansas are walking around like they'd arrived. I'm taking Bill Self out of this equation. He is not part of anything that I'm about to say. A lot of people over there at the University of Kansas acted like they had already arrived before they already arrived. And this is what happens when you try to put the cart in front of the horse and see what's going to happen. You kind of fall backwards to the pack. There's a lot of humble pie being gobbled up over there in Lawrence by people in that athletic department this morning, I'm sure. And they've got to figure out a way to kind of get this thing back on track, not just from football, but now the basketball team's got to figure some things out. Can you imagine a March where Kansas doesn't go to the tournament?
So I'm glad that you said that, because they're 17-9 right now, right? They have 5 games left. They could, and again, I don't think that, Calipari missed the tournament a couple times.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, well, they have to have Kansas in the Big Ten. No, they
No,
don't.
they don't. No, they don't.
Oklahoma State, Colorado. They should win both of those games. That will get them to 19-9.
Okay.
Right? Then they play Texas Tech,
Yeah.
who, by the way, I know college basketball is not your bag.
They're good.
Number 9 in the nation.
Yeah, they're good.
Number 9 in the nation. Then they play at Houston.
Right.
They win in that game.
Well, this is always one of those things where back in the day you would script it because KU has followed a script as much as anybody over the years. Now this one they diverged a little bit from. But if you're 10 years ago and this schedule's coming up, I guarantee you they're going to win to Texas Tech and guarantee you they're going to win at Houston because that's just what they did back in those days at the time. Now I don't know that you can say that.
So they play Oklahoma State, Colorado. They'll play at Colorado. That game is next Monday at 10 o'clock at night. Neither one of us will be watching that.
Oh, God.
Colorado time. And then you play your last 3 games, which are the first week of March. Texas Tech, Houston, and Arizona.
Yeah, that's
all 3 ranked teams. 2 of those games at home, Texas Tech, Arizona. And I get it. You know, Kansas has those quad 1 wins.
They beat Duke and North Carolina, Michigan State
in November.
I know, yeah.
That's why when we talk about college basketball, like the season don't start till March.
No, it doesn't.
Or mid-February. And then they got to play in the Big 12 tournament.
But now when you start to seed and think about who gets in, they will go back to November and say, well, they did beat these teams. They have those wins. You don't take it. You forget it, right? You don't take it away.
And their RPI is going to be out of the roof because
of the way that they play. But you got to win games.
But think about this. In your lifetime, KU might play Wednesday at T-Mobile in the Big 12 tournament, and they could possibly, if they were to get bounced that tournament early and only win 2 games of their last 5, they could miss the tournament.
They could. They
100% could miss it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And in my lifetime, and I went to KU in 95, never had this conversation.
No.
We're talking 30 years where I personally have never had a conversation of what March would be like without Kansas in the NCAA tournament. And there's that possibility this year. There's no question about it. There's that possibility this year. But that's that's the changing landscape of college sports. I love that the players are getting paid. How are these coaches going to adapt? Many of the legendary coaches just said, screw this, I'm out, and walked away. Will Bill be the next one to do that?
Oh, the times they are a-changing. Jay Binkley, he'll join us on the other side here, 96.5. Fan Euro, Kansas City Sports.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what. We generally hear talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues. Today, I want to talk about love because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partner hip type of thing in that type of situation. Like Vinny's had that injury history.
Right. Jack Caglione is the 22nd ranked prospect in baseball. He's the number 1 ranked first baseman prospect in baseball. He's the Royals' number 1 prospect. The guy's 6'5", 250. He's a lefty-lefty. Obviously was drafted with dual talents, and I don't think he's going to throw the ball much in the big leagues as a pitcher.
Would be cool to see him on the mound.
Would be sick. Would be sick. I remember we asked, either it was, was it JJ or was it Q? I think it was Q. And we're like, hey, what if he were to play and then he pitches in the 8th inning? Can he still, whatever?